what's up? I am back again. This time I have some DCP pros and cons for you. So if you, like me a couple years ago, are considering the Disney College program, let me tell you some fun facts and why or why not you should take the college program. So if you are like me, you really love Disney. You will do anything to work for them. And one of the ways to work for them, if you are a college student, either in the US or international, is the Disney College program, or international program if you don't live in the US. But basically, if you've seen my What's the DCP video, you know what it is, or if you've done any research at all, but short synopsis for those that don't know what it is, basically you go live and work at Disney between 4 and 8 months of the year. You can extend up to a full year, but not everyone does that. That's a whole nother can of worms. But yeah, basically you are an intern, you live on Disney property. It's like apartments and such. So you live on Disney property, you work for Disney. Usually it's in a spot like quick service or, I don't know, one of my roommates was housekeeping. We had custodial, we had a character performer. Yeah, so that's basically what it is. You trade your soul to the mouse in order to work for them. And it can either be a good thing or a bad thing. Disclaimer going into this, a lot of your experience is based on, honestly, your expectations. If you expect it to be magic 100% of the time, it is not going to live up to your expectations. Yes, Disney is an awesome place to vacation. Yes, there's so much fun, so much to do, but the reality is there's a dirty underbelly, honestly, if that's a good metaphor, I suppose. But yeah, cast members are the ones that are doing all the work to make sure everything is magical and cleaning and doing all of the stuff that no one really cares about when you go to the theme parks because you don't have to do it. So yeah, with that said, I'm going to get into the pros and cons. I'm going to start with the pros because it's always fun to start with the bonuses and the benefits. Alright, honestly, first benefit, there's so many great discounts and tickets and everything. I mean, clearly for yourself, you get into the parks free. On most days, there are some blackout dates. You can check that out. I have a website that I will link in the description below to show you some of the blackout dates. It's like the official cast member blackout calendar thing. But anyways, you get in free. While I was there, I ended up getting I got 10 tickets free for my family. And then I also had, I think, 2 days that I got my grandmother in. I can't remember why or how I got those ones. I think that was just like a thank you gift. I can't remember. But in order to get the original tickets that I talked about for my family, you have to work a certain amount of hours. For the first, I'm going to say 150 hours. Yeah, 150 hours, you get 3 tickets. At 300 hours of work, you get 3 more. And then at 600 hours of work, you get the last 3. We had a random bonus ticket that we got when we first got there. I don't know why. But since there's 5 members of our family, it worked out great because I needed the 10th ticket anyway. So yeah, there's that. You also get discounts on merchandise, 20% normally, 40% at the holidays. And then you can get discounts on hotel rooms. I actually ended up using the cast member discount for my fiance when he came. It was cheaper for him to fly in a day or two, some amount of time early, rather than just take the flight that would have put him there on time for the original reservation. I also booked the cast member discounts for my family. They stayed at All-Star. My fiance stayed at Coronado Springs, which honestly is one of my favorites, despite the fact that it's under renovation right now. Problem with that is there is limited availability for this, and it goes really fast depending on the hotel. So you can keep checking it up all the time. And for my friends that are not there yet or have not gotten access, you have to get your ID and access to the system first before you can start booking cast member discounts because it is a website that you book it on. The second pro that I would like to tell you about is actually the job experience, just because they are one of the best, if not the best, company for guest service, just because they have that reputation and they will literally do anything to try and make guests feel happy. I've been to several interviews since I came back from Disney, and every single one of them has asked me about Disney, or I've been able to use Disney as examples of guest service and how I went above and beyond in my job. Another benefit to the Disney College program is you can work seriously so many different places. At least for me, I was in quick service food and beverage, and there are restaurants all over property that I could have worked anywhere. Honestly, my home was Cosmic Rays. But I enjoyed exploring the other options where to work. And I want to say my favorite costume was Hollywood Studios. I'll put a little photo right here. But you can also see a collection of all my costumes in a future blog post that I will be putting up sometime soon. I usually post like once a week and I schedule things out, so we'll see when it comes up. But anyways, besides that, it was pretty easy for me to trade or give away shifts as well, just because Cosmic was so big. Although I will give a disclaimer to that. I had a friend that was working in merchandise in Coronado Springs, and honestly, he had the worst time giving away shifts or like trading them to get off. So it really depends on your work location if it's easy or not to trade and give away and try new shifts. Another benefit to being in the Disney College Program is you have transportation provided to you. You don't need to bring a car, which can honestly save in parking fees because you do have a parking fee when you come to the Disney College Program, and then you also save in gas, but you do give up time because the buses take much longer than a car. You also do get free parking at theme parks and such if you're a Disney cast member, so no worries about that. TrainStar is TrainStar. There's like so many pros and cons to the bus system itself. I could make a whole new video. But I relied on the TrainStar system just because I did not have a car at that time when I was in Disney World. I do now, it's great. But honestly, I think you can get away with no car in Disney World. The only time I really wanted a car was when I was going to Universal, because I had a Universal annual pass at that time. Also, side note, if you do the flex pay for the Universal annual pass, it automatically renews at the end of your year. Make sure you cancel before, because I didn't know that. They started charging me extra money because I wasn't a Florida resident anymore, and I was like, hey, I don't want this. I didn't know it renewed, fix it. Normally they don't do refunds, but they did for me, so thanks Universal. Anyways, the only time I really wanted it was to go to Universal, honestly. And I took Uber there and back a couple times. I think it was, I'm gonna say like $12 each way, which is kind of pricey, but honestly it wasn't too bad because I didn't take it too many times since my roommate also had a car. Ashley, you have seen her in several vlogs, but she had a car and she would take us sometimes because she had an annual pass as well. Also, definitely the Universal. One of the pros, you can get your Florida residency proof from the clubhouse at your DCP housing complex, and you can get the discount for Florida residents for your Universal pass, and yeah, save you a lot of money, like half off basically. Another pro of the Disney College Program is you can earn college credit. It's not, well, let me rephrase that. For my specific college, I did not get credit for the actual program, but if I had taken classes from Disney, I would have gotten credit. See, the downside for me is at the time when I went to the Disney College Program, I was a senior in college, and I had used up all of my, I don't know, whatever the extra credits are called that aren't part of your major. I'm sure I'll think about it sometime soon in like 20 minutes when I'm done with this video. But it only counted for those credits, and it didn't actually apply to my major. Since I only needed credits that applied to my major, it didn't make sense for me to take the classes. I did take Disney Heritage though, and that was like somewhat fun, somewhat not fun. There was one day where we had one of the big guys from Epcot come and teach us about like the history and like tell us his experience with it. That was super fun. But honestly, if you are like me and you have done a lot of Disney research, love Disney, know a lot of Disney stuff, Disney Heritage will honestly tell you most of the stuff that you already know. Just gonna be honest. So don't necessarily listen to the hype that Disney Heritage is super important, because it was cute. It was. But I honestly could have slept in those days. Alright, final pro that I have is I had great roommates! If y'all are watching this, love ya. I really should catch up with you because I'm terrible with communication, but I may be stalking you on Instagram and Facebook and all those places sometime soon. But besides the point, I went into my college program knowing who I was going to room, well, 90% knowing because you never know with Disney, but pretty much knowing who I was going to room with, and honestly I had a great time. Yeah, we disagreed occasionally, but that's what everyone does. All roommates are perfect, truly. We did have one of our roommates that had to leave early just because she got injured, and Disney was honestly not kind to her because if you don't know, if you have to work at least once every 2 to 3 weeks can't remember what the cutoff is. But if you don't work for like 2 or 3 weeks, then you are terminated. And in this case, she couldn't work because she did something to, I want to say, her foot or ankle. And she was literally about to come back on the job because it wasn't a major injury, but she reached that limit where if she hadn't worked, she would have gotten terminated. So she was forced to leave. And we all honestly hated that so much. I wish she could have finished with us, but Disney is just, they got their standards, they gotta uphold them. So yeah. But anyways, I had a great roommate experience. You will hear horror stories from Disney program people. Usually they're people that went random, but sometimes if you pick a person, it can end up not being the way you were supposed to. Bottom line is, I had great roommates, honestly, and that was one of the things that made my experience so much more fun. If I didn't have great roommates, I might have left in like May, honestly. There's many reasons why I might have left, and we'll get into that with the cons, but I have to go charge my computer first, so I will come back in just a little bit.